here we are again. This is going to be a... Oh, my thing almost turned over. Shouldn't be. Wasn't it that hard, huh? Okay. It's time for this one. And this one we just beat and beat and beat. And we turn it over and beat it some more. I can move you in a little bit where you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. This, what I'm doing right now, the beading, it saves you a lot of time on getting a nice slab even. You kind of have to start out with something nice and even. Okay, we're going to start now with the little sticks. Sorry, we had a phone call come in. Not anybody that I wanted to talk to, but it was enough to stop my filming. And it's not something I enjoy doing when they take it away from me. This is about a little over 2 pounds clay. And I'm just getting it laid out here on this board, so hopefully we'll have enough space for the big one, but I don't know. I don't think we will on here. No, we will not. So we'll have to take this board off and how about this one? Well, we can make this one if we worry about it. Anyways. I'm going to stretch this out over here when I get to a spot where we can do it. We have some, we don't have a, or I don't have a slab roller here. I have only these two little guys that will tell me when the clay has reached that thickness, which is a long ways from that. It's about ready. Not quite, but almost. Okay, I think that's getting close enough. Rattle the little sticks over here. Now we're going to take this small, but first, before we do that, we have to do this. We have to compress the clay as much as you can. Put your texture in, and yes, we are going to put texture. And when you do that, the surface needs to be really, really smooth for the texture to take well. That's good. Flop this baby over. Okay, now we have taken care of all the little blemishes and air bubbles that came up. All that stuff is taken care of now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off. I'm just trying to stretch it out a little bit, and then I will start rolling it. Okay. Almost the right size. By the time we roll it out some, it will be. Now you see I've got these sticks here at the side. They're 3/8 of an inch. And they will, don't keep it from rolling up like that, but they will keep the, when I put it down there like that and I go up, I have reached my 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to stop with that, put these away. Take out my trusty little whirlygid pin. This is from Sharon Hoppe. Sharon Hoppe. Did I get it right? And I am pushing down on the body part of the pin and going very slow, and that gives me, and I'm pushing really hard. That gives me a better impression than rolling it with the handles. And I noticed on one of the videos that Sharon does it this way, and she's the one who made the pin, so I guess she knows how to get the best use out of it. So I'm following her directions. Now we're going to cut it out using the what some old potters used to call the needle of death. Well, the needle of death is a really good job of gliding along all these little curves and valleys and things of this form, and cuts out a very, very nice even form. And that's going to be our middle. Now, if we are very, very fortunate, which we're not, but we do have enough for another small one. In fact, we probably have enough for 2 small ones. Two small ones and a magnet or two. When I have something nicely textured like this, rolled out, and I don't use it all for what purpose that I'm doing right now, I just hate to roll it all back up and wedge it back out. So this area is very textured, very nicely textured, and I'm going to use it Good morning out there, everyone. Today I'm going to do some fluting on this piece. Now you will have noticed that it's already been chattered, and that was done yesterday. Unfortunately, as I was doing that, I just keep on going and doing, and in the process my phone died. Its little battery ran down. I'm getting a little cup to put the little pieces of clay that I cut off here. Anyways, I was going away and doing the chattering and everything, and then I noticed my phone was dead as a doornail. Now, as you can see, we've got little flutings, spaced evenly apart. Now what I'm going to go do now is go back into the center between these two and bring one down. Over here, we go in between the center and bring one down. In between the center and bring it down. Now you'll notice I'm using a diamond core tool for this. Works wonders for the fluting. Gets its nice, smooth, even see that nice, smooth, even stroke? Pulls this off with just, little tinders, which I'm saving over here. So, but anyway, the gist of my story is that all of the filming of the chattering just wasn't there because it was a dead battery. Okay, here we go. This is going to be our last way around. Fluting has been a decorative thing that's back in the caveman days, practically. Egypt, back in the Pharaoh's time period, lots of fluting. And the technique for doing the chattering. Although I will say the technique, because we do it on a wheel now much faster, but they had chattered pieces 5,000 years ago. So, it's not like we came up with something new. This technique of fluting has been around a long, long time. Even longer than me. And that's saying something. As you can see here, these flutes go rather deep, which is one of the reasons why when you're going to be planning on doing something like this with a lot of surface decoration and you're going to be taking clay away, you want to make sure that you leave enough clay when you're throwing the piece that you can take it away. Or some magnets. I have quite a few magnets. Now this piece, refrigerator magnets, and I try to make them out of the really intents and purposes, nice, except for textured clay, so that kind of flicking off the little bits and pieces that have stayed. I must admit I have not sold any magnets yet, but hopefully one of these days. I have given away a few. But for the most part, this piece is done. Patreon. If you want to look up here on this piece, things that I can get it up here close enough for you to see. There are different types of chattering done. People. In each one of these bands is a different pattern. Here are those two. I will be doing another one over here, and in that one I actually will be doing the chattering. So for right now, that's that on the fluting. Okay. I'm letting all these set up just a little bit. Not too terribly much, but just a little. These that I'm cutting right now are not going to be magnets. I'm going to make a little trinket box out of them. These round things that I'm using are some wooden bats that were made by a friend of mine, Brad, and I don't remember Brad's last name, it's been too long. He was with me at the university, and he made all these for himself when he was actively doing ceramics. And before I graduated, I really liked these for throwing plates and bowls and bigger stuff, especially the stuff that you don't want to have to cut off the plastic bats, which is what we had at the university, you had to cut off the what you were working on. You had to cut it off from that, and sometimes that didn't work out so well. Sometimes you would be cutting it off from the vat and it would not exactly come. And then your piece would be spoiled. Well, with these wooden bats that Brad made, you don't cut it off from the vat. You just put it up, let it set, cover it, let it set until it turned loose of the vat itself. And for large plates, that was the way to do it, because you didn't lose cutting through that small area underneath your plate and your bottom. Now, this is what was left over, just the scraps that were too small to make a magnet out of. So what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to wedge it up. And I'm going to roll some out and make a wall for that little trinket box that I'm going to make up there. Something bigger than you. As you see, I'm just throwing this one out. I'm not even rolling it, just throwing it out to, there's a very small piece of clay, so I can do this. Just flip it around, flip it around, flip it around, flip it around, and now it's just about where I need it to be. So I'm going to take my texture roll. Now first I'm going to get some of this canvas texture off of it. I see that it left quite a bit. So we'll do that first. Give our roller a clean slate. Now if you look at this area that I'm working on, you can probably see a discoloration from here to here. This is the area that I've been working at, and this is the area that has picked up the moisture out of the clay. And at some point, I will really need to let it dry. See here, I've picked up some two wet pieces of clay.